Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
I am with film icon, politician, leader and founder of the Makkal Nidhi Mayam, Mr. Kamal Haasan. The Makkal Nidhi Mayam was founded in February 2018 and it contested the Lok Sabha elections and will also be contesting the upcoming state polls, sir. Thank you for joining us, sir. Sir, my first question is if you could explain why you decided to contest the Coimbatore South constituency, where you'll be in direct contest with the Congress and the BJP.
That's one of the reasons. Also, the communal, engineered communal disharmony in those places has to be countered by a voice like mine.
Sure.
Also, that happens to be the so-called bastion of the AIADMK.
Sure.
And three of the most corrupt ministers hail from that constituency.
Would you like to mention who these three are?
Yeah, they can. They've already been named and shamed. I'll spare the moment, including Honorable Chief Minister's Edapadi comes under that umbrella.
Sure.
So I thought that's a good place to lay siege, if at all you call it siege, democratic siege at that.
You spoke about how communal tensions were being engineered there. Could you explain that a bit?
No, Coimbatore people, I'm sure that you will be in the course of your journey be traveling there. They will be bear witness to such engineering happening in Coimbatore and various places, and that's one of the reasons. And Coimbatore used to be called the Manchester of India, which the glow and shine which it has lost due to successive government. DMK's 16-hour power cut did no good to the industry, and most of the industries fled or moved away to other states. We lost the business, and then came demonetization, and then GST.
Taking from this, so you spoke about demonetization and GST. One of the major landmarks of your party is the economic revival plan for Tamil Nadu, which you presented in December. Following that, you spoke about allowances for housewives, and following that, the DMK and AIADMK have also, used that. How would you see these steps?
No, I mean, they would explain it off as a good idea is a good idea, so anybody could follow it. The problem is ideas abound, but they have never been executives of such ideas. Inactivity is their major virtue, and corruption their major, distraction.
Sure. The economic revival plan also said that Tamil Nadu could reach a $1 trillion economy as a state. How do you plan on achieving this, and what is the Makkal Nidhi Mayam's economic ideology?
See, the economic ideology is not just making the state rich, but seeing to that there are not the quality of life and the number of poor people should be drastically reduced. So the constant reference has always been in political rhetoric, the poverty line. Below and above the poverty line is oft discussed in national and state politics. We are not even talking about that. We are talking about prosperity line, which should be our goal, which is our goal. And we want to raise Tamil Nadu, at least portions of Tamil Nadu, above the that line of prosperity, so that even in times of calamity and COVID-like situations, even when we slip demonetization, for example, something untoward happens, even then they'll slip down, but not below poverty line, but just about manage.
Sir, you spoke about the COVID management and also demonetization. I just was actually, you wrote two very strong letters to the Prime Minister during the COVID crisis. One was appreciating and said, we'll stand behind you. And second one was about the COVID crisis, where you said that any concerns which I may put forward, there will be a troll of armies which will call me, anti-national in that sense. What do you have to say about this trend, sir?
I think we are wasting our energies proving the other party wrong. The very purpose, the primary purpose of our political existence is forgotten in the melee of one-upmanship. So you forget about the actual cause, the reason why we are here, and trying to prove the other party wrong. So it is a non-productive activity, if you ask me.
So, talking about the Tamil Nadu elections, and just want to go back into your background. In this one excerpt of a book, you said you were brought up under the movement of New India as well as the Dravidian movement. Today, what does the term Dravidian mean to you, and how do you view that ideology today?
See, Dravidian. The word Dravidian is not merely political. It was used politically by few parties, but they can't lay claim to an anthropological situation like Dravidian. It's a description, and to me, Dravidian is pan-national, not just South India, but also North India. So we are now talking anthropology, and anybody who's slightly indulgent, who has slightly indulgent studies in anthropology will know what I'm talking about.
Talking about, then does your party subscribe to that ideology, and what is the vision, what is the ultimate goal for your party?
As I told you, the idea, our ism is centrism. I think the world is wasting energies, as I told you. The left and right are engaging in a debate which is mainly to prove the other person wrong, which I think is non-productive activity. Center does not place the ideology in the center, but the people in the middle of things. And everything else is conditional upon the good life that people can have. So all isms are work in progress and are not permanent solutions for the ails of the human race.
Speaking about your MLAs, so one of somebody who's the party state secretary for environment, as well as who's being fielded as an MLA, Padma Priya. She is, if you could tell us what was the thought process behind MLAs and in choosing them.
Usually people say that you elect me to power and I'll do certain things. But these are people who have already done certain things. Actually made changes to the society, take governments, take notice of hitherto unaddressed problems, and they fought for it. Some of them have won, some of them have gone to court, some of them actually have a list of the good deeds which has put them in a good position in their constituencies. So that itself is a great virtue with which they come to us. Money is the least of the things, and since we are not going to be doling out freebies and cash for vote, that expense is totally out from our budget. So what we have is sufficient as the Election Commission allows.
I mentioned the MLA earlier because she said a lot about the draft EIA notification, and similarly as his climate activist Disha Ravi. How would you view her arrest and the entire narrative around that?
I think they have done what is right according to international cognizance. This is not just a state requirement. It's a worldwide situation, and we have to take notice of it and take action to save the only place we can call home.
Sure, you're talking about the climate activist.
Yes.
How would you view her arrest vis-a-vis the farmers' protests and how she was involved in that?
I think the rest of the country, including Makal Nidhi Mayam, was involved in the farmers' agitation. We were part of it, and we do endorse some of the things. Maybe not all, but some of it we strongly stand by them.
Speaking about elections and campaigning is about to begin, do you think issues such as the farmers' protests will play a factor in the minds of voters when they cast their votes?
Maybe not in Tamil Nadu, but the rest of the nation, yes, it will.
And also wanted to ask you, I mean, are very close to Rajinikanth, and he was about to, everyone thought he would make his foray into politics. Were you a bit disappointed by his announcement of not joining politics?
No, well, the reason didn't give space for any disappointment, because the reason is not like he didn't feel like it. The reason was very genuine, and it's concerning his own health. So there's no debate on that, no question asked. He just had made the right decision.
Also, in this election, this is new because it doesn't have either Karunanidhi or Jayalalitha, and we're seeing the BJP making inroads. What do you have to say about their retrieval yatra, and do you think that this is it will create inroads of Hindutva politics in the state?
See, let's first know the difference between Hindutva and Hindus. That's spirituality and politics.
You think that's an important distinction to make?
That is a distinction people should understand. And you cannot lay claim to anything that is spiritual as the Hindutva. I mean, spiritual and not Muslim or not Christian automatically does not become a Hindutva. Everybody has their mindset, and even according to the Hindu religion that they praise so much, is inclusive thought process. It allows many things. So trying to make it in exclusive society is contrary to the constitution that we had built.
Do you think the BJP is doing that through their politics?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Through the retrieval yatra and their brand of politics?
Yes.
Do you think that will find any resonance here, or do you think Tamil?
It will, for those who don't have the cognizance. Those who are quick to insult will take just the prima facie evidences they have and call it as insult heaped on them. But that's not true at all. It's been a very accommodating state, and they will always be.
As one last question, sir, what are your expectations from this election? And if I may ask, what do you think is the USP of the Makkal Nidhi Mayam, which people will drop?
As I told you, people is the center of our politics, which is drastically opposite to what the two parties are claiming to be. They might talk about people, but they have no evidence of ever having that as their primary interest. The very way they conduct their elections, and bags of money found, and the number of criminals in the contesting MLAs with criminal records, that is 33% of them are, and that automatically becomes our USP, because all of us are good intentioned, proper citizens with achievements of their own. And for us, politics is not a profession, it's a commitment. To them, it is their livelihood. And that's the difference between Makkal Nidhi Mayam and the rest of the politicians. Whatever be the legacy, they hide behind social justice and hide the crimes under the social justice garb. We have nothing to hide and all to show. And with the power in hand, we'll show further how much our good ideas can be implemented.
And just because you said it's a commitment and not a profession, for your film fans, has acting taken a complete backseat?
Yeah, I might complete a backlog, but my commitment to politics is complete, and depending on the kind of load that comes on me, I might have to relinquish it totally.
Then thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you very much.